At first glance, this may look like just another ordinary nickel, a 5-cent coin that's been in your pocket, your wallet, and even in the change jar for years. But what if I told you that this humble 2014 nickel could be worth a jaw-dropping $130 million? Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, stick with me because what you're about to learn may just blow your mind. Now, let's talk about the 2014 nickel. This is your classic 5-cent coin, one that most of us have seen countless times in our lives. It features Thomas Jefferson's portrait on the front and his Virginia home, Monticello, on the back. For all intents and purposes, it's just a regular nickel, part of the everyday currency we use to buy things. But here's the thing, in 2014, something truly rare and special happened with this simple 5-cent piece. A small batch of these nickels were struck with a minting error, and that error turned these ordinary coins into extraordinary treasures. The error makes them incredibly valuable, so much so that some of these nickels are worth more than $100 million. You might be wondering, how can a simple coin like this be worth that much? Well, let me explain how minting errors happen. During the production process of coins, the minting machines strike the coins with a design die that presses the images into the metal. This process usually goes smoothly, but sometimes things go wrong. The die might misalign, the pressure may not be even, or sometimes, a coin might even get struck twice. These are called minting errors, and they create coins that are different from the ones intended by the mint. These coins are incredibly rare, and rare coins are always worth more than the ordinary ones. But what makes these errors so fascinating is that even the slightest mistake can skyrocket a coin's value. In the case of the 2014 nickel, one of the most valuable types of error is called the double strike. This occurs when a coin is struck twice by the same die, causing the design to appear two times, sometimes slightly misaligned. Think about it. A coin that was supposed to be stamped once but gets stamped twice, creating a doubled image. It sounds simple, but in the world of rare coins, this is a huge deal. A double-struck nickel is an anomaly, and coin collectors absolutely love these rare finds. In fact, one of these double-struck 2014 nickels has been estimated to be worth an astonishing $130 million. It's hard to wrap your head around the fact that a coin worth just 5 cents could suddenly be worth millions. But it's not just the double strike that makes these coins valuable. Minting errors can take many forms, and some of the other types of errors that can occur are just as valuable. Misaligned dies, where the design is shifted off-center, are another common type of error. If a coin comes out looking unusual because it's been struck incorrectly, it might be worth a small fortune to collectors who specialize in error coins. And as the price of rare coins continues to climb, these 2014 nickels have become a hot commodity. So, how do you know if you've got one of these rare 2014 nickels sitting in your collection or even in your pocket change? The first thing to look for is any kind of noticeable minting error. For example, with a double-struck coin, you'll notice that the design will appear twice on the coin, once in its correct position, and a second time slightly shifted. It might be faint or hard to spot at first, but if you use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe, you'll be able to see the double image. Sometimes the error might be so subtle that only an expert can identify it, so it's important to be patient and examine your coin carefully. If you come across a nickel with misaligned dies or a double design, you may just be holding a coin that could be worth far more than the face value of 5 cents. But even if your 2014 nickel doesn't show any immediate signs of error, don't discard it just yet. Sometimes, the most valuable coins are the ones that seem perfectly normal at first glance. A coin's value doesn't just come from its minting error. The condition of the coin also plays a huge role. In the world of numismatics, which is the study and collection of coins, a coin's grade, or its physical condition, is extremely important. Coins that are in excellent condition, with no scratches, dents, or discoloration, are far more valuable than those that have been worn down or damaged. The best way to determine the value of a coin is to have it professionally graded by a certified coin grading service. These services use specialized equipment and expert knowledge to assess the coin's condition and authenticity. Once graded, your coin will be given a grade, such as MS 70. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin can be. For example, a well-preserved double-struck 2014 nickel could fetch an enormous price at auction, depending on its condition. In fact, collectors and investors spend a lot of time and money looking for coins like this. Some of the most dedicated coin enthusiasts spend their entire lives collecting rare coins, and they will often pay top dollar for a unique piece. With rare coins like the 2014 nickel, the rarity and the story behind the coin are just as important as the condition. For some collectors, owning a coin with an interesting history or a rare minting error is just as exciting as the potential investment. While finding a rare 2014 double-struck nickel might seem like a long shot, it's worth keeping an eye out, especially if you're a coin collector or investor. The odds of stumbling upon one of these valuable error coins in your spare change may seem slim, but it's happened before. Many collectors have found rare coins in unexpected places, like in rolls of change they picked up from the bank or in loose change they've found on the street. Others even search online auction sites or visit local coin shops in hopes of finding the next big discovery. For those who might be new to the world of coin collecting, the idea of finding a coin worth millions might sound a bit overwhelming. But the world of numismatics is full of fascinating stories and hidden treasures. The thrill of the hunt, the excitement of discovering something rare, and the possibility of holding a valuable piece of history are all part of what makes coin collecting so special. As you can see, that simple 2014 5-cent coin sitting in your change jar could be more than just pocket change. With a little bit of luck and a keen eye, you might discover a rare, valuable coin worth far more than you ever imagined. While not every 2014 nickel is going to be worth millions, there are plenty of other rare coins out there just waiting to be found. The world of rare coins is full of surprises, and sometimes, the most ordinary objects can be hiding the most extraordinary value. So, the next time you find yourself with a handful of coins, take a moment to check your nickels. Who knows? You might just be holding on to a rare treasure worth millions. Next, 1989 P. Jefferson Nickels USA coins today. Today, we have an incredible discovery to share with you, one that could change the way you look at your loose change forever. What if I told you that a coin, just like the ones you might find in your pocket, is actually worth a mind-blowing $66 million? Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, today we're diving into the history and the jaw-dropping value of a coin you probably wouldn't think twice about, a simple 1989 5-cent piece. Stay tuned, because you're about to find out why this coin is worth way more than you could ever imagine. At first glance, the 1989 5-cent coin might just seem like another ordinary nickel. After all, the 5-cent piece has been around for over a century, with its iconic image of President Thomas Jefferson on the front and the depiction of Monticello, Jefferson's plantation, on the back. You might think it's just another coin that you toss into your jar of change without a second thought, but that couldn't be further from the truth. There's a version of the 1989 nickel that is worth far more than its simple face value, and I mean far more. What makes the 1989 nickel so special, you ask? Well, here's where the story gets interesting. It all comes down to an incredibly rare minting error that turned this common coin into a highly sought-after treasure. When most people think about rare coins, they imagine coins from centuries ago, coins that have survived through wars, economic crashes, and generations of collectors. However, the 1989 5-cent piece is a modern coin with a very specific and rare error that makes it a collector's dream. This rare error coin, in particular, is a product of something called a double die strike, or sometimes even a misalignment in the way the coin was struck. A double die strike happens when a coin is stamped multiple times during the minting process, causing some of the details to appear doubled. This phenomenon can make certain features of the coin, like the date, inscriptions, or even parts of the imagery, appear blurry or doubled in a way that's completely out of the ordinary. In the case of the 1989 5-cent coin, this error caused the year 1989 to appear as if it were struck twice. The mistake might be subtle at first, but with a careful eye and a magnifying glass, you can spot the irregularities. These coins are extremely rare and valuable because they are not only part of an era series, but they are also an anomaly among millions of other standard 1989 nickels that were perfectly minted. That error alone makes this particular coin a 1 in a million find. Now, you might be wondering, how can you spot one of these rare error coins? Well, it's not as simple as looking at a coin and just assuming it's valuable. You need to carefully examine your 1989 nickels to see if there's any sign of a double date or misalignment in the design. You'll want to use a magnifying glass, a coin loop, or even a microscope to get a detailed view. Pay close attention to the digits in the year 1989 on the coin. If you see a doubling effect, where the numbers seem to repeat or overlap, then you might have stumbled upon one of these elusive error coins, but that's not all. There are other signs to look for too. Sometimes the designs on error coins can appear to be slightly off-center or misaligned. In the case of the 1989 nickel, some collectors have found slight variations in the engraving of Jefferson's profile or Monticello's image on the back. These irregularities are a result of the minting error, and when spotted, they add to the rarity of the coin, making it even more valuable. And now, here's where it gets really mind-blowing. One of these rare 1989 error nickels was sold in 2018 for an eye-watering $66 million. Yes, you read that right, $66 million. This was no ordinary coin sale either. The nickel was put up for auction, and after intense bidding among collectors, it fetched a price that shocked the world. This wasn't just a lucky guess or an accidental discovery. It was a high-stakes, high-reward moment for those who knew what they were looking at. The buyer, a private collector with deep pockets and a sharp eye for numismatic treasures, recognized the potential value of the coin. While most of us might have overlooked it as a regular nickel, this person understood the immense rarity and historical significance that this era represented. And the price? It reflects the tremendous value of having something so rare, so unique, and so historically significant in the world of coin collecting. But here's the thing, this wasn't just one lucky sale. This era coin has become a sort of holy grail for collectors. You'd be amazed to know how many people are actively searching for it in the hopes of finding their own personal treasure. There are many collectors, dealers, and even enthusiasts who are willing to pay astronomical amounts of money for a single coin, especially one as unique and rare as the 1989 era nickel. This sale wasn't a fluke, it's proof of the vast potential value hidden in seemingly ordinary coins. Now, I'm sure some of you might be wondering if such a valuable coin can just be sitting in your pocket or your spare change jar. And the answer is, absolutely. In fact, coins like this have been found in people's everyday change and have ended up fetching unbelievable sums of money at auctions. It's crazy to think that a coin which might look like it's worth 5 cents could actually be worth millions. So, if you think you found one of these rare error coins, don't rush to spend it at your local convenience store just yet. This is a coin you'll want to get appraised as soon as possible. A professional numismatist or a trusted coin dealer can help you confirm whether the coin you found is, in fact, one of these error nickels. And who knows? If you've got a real one, you could be holding a small fortune right in your hands. But how do you go about finding these rare error coins? Well, it all starts with being vigilant and patient. Coin collecting is an art, and finding these rare pieces is not as easy as picking up loose change. You need to be diligent, spend time sorting through your coins, and carefully inspect them for signs of any imperfections or irregularities. A coin's value can dramatically increase based on the tiniest of errors, and often, it's these seemingly insignificant mistakes that make all the difference. Once your coin has been verified, you have some options. You might decide to keep it as part of your collection, which could increase in value over time as its rarity grows even more apparent to the market. Or, if you're looking for a big payout, you can sell it at an auction or through a reputable dealer. Just remember, the 1989 era nickel is a coin that attracts high-profile buyers and can fetch top dollar if it's in the right condition. It's not unusual for rare coins like this to continue increasing in value, especially as they become harder to find. Coin collectors often speak about the thrill of the hunt, and this era nickel is no exception. As soon as word got out about this rare coin, collectors and dealers from all over the world began searching for it. And that search continues today, with people scouring online auction sites, coin shops, and even estate sales for that elusive 1989-era nickel. The history of the 5-cent coin, also known as the nickel, stretches back to 1866, when it was first introduced to the public. Over the years, the nickel has gone through various redesigns, with the current version featuring Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse. However, the 1989 version of the nickel holds a special place in coin collectors' hearts due to the unique production error that has made it a holy grail for those in the know. The minting process of any coin is a delicate and complex one, and while the U.S. Mint takes great care to ensure that the coins are produced correctly, mistakes do occasionally happen. When they do, they often result in coins that are highly prized by collectors due to their rarity. And while many mint errors are subtle and hard to spot, this particular error on the 1989 nickel was so dramatic that it caught the attention of collectors from all over the world. So, the next time you're going through your change jar or checking the coins in your wallet, take a closer look at those nickels. You just might have a small fortune hiding in plain sight. Whether you decide to hold on to your rare 1989-era nickel or sell it, one thing's for sure, you could be sitting on a piece of American history worth millions. But here's the final takeaway: coins are more than just metal and numbers. They are pieces of history, each telling a unique story about the time and place in which they were minted. A simple mistake, like a doubled die or misalignment, can turn an everyday coin into a rare and valuable treasure. So don't overlook that change you've been collecting. There's a chance you might just be holding on to a fortune. If you enjoyed learning about this incredible coin, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a chance to uncover hidden treasures like this. And remember, if you find one of these rare coins, you could be sitting on your very own fortune. Thanks. Next, 2011 5-cent Jefferson Nichols USA coins today. What if I told you a simple 5-cent coin from 2011 could be worth over $166 million? Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, stick with me, because we're about to dive into the amazing history, rare factors, and crazy value behind the 2011 USA 5-cent coin. Now, I know what you're thinking. A 5-cent coin? Worth millions? That doesn't seem possible. But believe me, this is one story you're going to want to hear. Let's take a step back in time to 2011 and uncover why this small coin has such a big secret. The United States Mint is responsible for producing billions of coins each year, but not all of those coins are the same. Some, like the everyday nickels, pennies, dimes, and quarters, go into general circulation and get spent without anyone giving them much thought. Most of the time, these coins hold only their face value, meaning they're worth just a few cents. But sometimes, a rare mistake occurs during the minting process, and that small error can turn an ordinary coin into something extraordinary, worth far more than it was ever intended to be. The 2011 nickel is no exception. For most people, this coin, which was struck at the Denver Mint, would go unnoticed in their change. It looks like any other nickel from that year, just a regular coin made of copper and nickel. But behind the scenes, there's a fascinating story of rarity, value, and a potential treasure that could be worth more than anyone could ever imagine. In 2011, the U.S. Mint was producing millions of these 5-cent coins, like they do with every coin. However, not every coin that rolls off the presses is perfect. The minting process can be complicated, and sometimes, things go wrong. Some coins might get struck with misaligned dies, others might get double-stamped, and sometimes, a coin might have an off-center strike. These errors, while small and often barely noticeable, make those coins incredibly valuable to collectors and numismatists. While most 2011 nickels are perfectly fine and worth their face value of 5 cents, a very small percentage of these coins were struck with errors. These are the coins that collectors dream about. When a coin has a rare minting mistake, it can shoot up in value, especially if it's in pristine condition. And that's where things start to get interesting with the 2011 nickel. You see, some of the 2011 nickels that were minted with errors, whether it's an off-center strike, double die, or some other unique flaw, have sold for tens of thousands of dollars. But that's not all. There's a rumor that one specific 2011 D nickel could be worth over $166 million. Yes, you heard me right, a single coin, worth that much money. This isn't just some random number, either. It's based on the potential rarity and historical significance of a coin that might have experienced a combination of minting errors never before seen in a coin of its type. What if that 2011 D nickel is a rare error coin with a perfect storm of misprints? A nickel that was struck with mismatched dies, double impressions, and possibly even a die crack or some other rare anomaly. If such a coin exists, it could fetch a staggering price. These types of coins are highly sought after by collectors who specialize in error coins, and when they go up for auction, the bids can go through the roof. So why are rare error coins worth so much? Well, it's all about rarity. The fewer the number of a particular type of coin that exists, the more valuable it becomes. Some coins are one of a kind, and when that happens, collectors fight tooth and nail to get their hands on them. And that's not just for any coin, it's for coins that represent an anomaly in the minting process, making them pieces of history that can't be replicated. But here's where it gets even more exciting: error coins are not always easy to spot. While the 2011 D nickel may seem like an ordinary coin, it could be hiding a rare flaw that only an expert eye can detect. And once that flaw is discovered, it's not just a minor issue, it could mean that the coin is worth far more than anyone initially expected. If you happen to have a 2011 D nickel with such a flaw, you might be sitting on a small fortune. Think about it. The US Mint is constantly making coins, but errors happen in such small quantities that most of the time, they go unnoticed. However, when they do get noticed, the value skyrockets. The 2011 D nickel, due to its potential rarity, could be a coin that one lucky person discovers and takes to auction. If the right buyer sees the potential in that coin, you could be looking at a price tag well into the millions, possibly even $166 million. But that doesn't mean it's easy to find these rare coins. Coin collectors often spend years searching through rolls of coins, scouring the market, and attending auctions in hopes of stumbling upon a hidden gem. They know that rare coins like this don't show up every day, and when they do, they often fly under the radar until the value becomes apparent. So, where does this $166 million number come from? While it's not a confirmed figure just yet, it's based on the potential for a perfectly struck error coin to fetch an unbelievable price at auction. Some coins with significant flaws have already sold for huge amounts of money, and when it comes to rare error coins, especially those that were struck in limited quantities or under unique circumstances, the price can escalate rapidly. Coin collecting is more than just a hobby, it's an investment. Many collectors buy coins not only because they enjoy the history and artistry behind them, but also because they see the potential for future gains. If you're lucky enough to own a rare error coin, you might just be holding on to a piece of history that could change your life financially. Imagine, for a moment, that you have a 2011 D nickel in your pocket. It looks just like any other coin, but could it be the one? Could it be the hidden treasure worth millions? Maybe it's just a regular nickel, or maybe, it's the one that could make you an overnight millionaire. That's the exciting world of coin collecting, one where everyday coins can have the power to surprise you. Now, some of you might be wondering, could this 2011 D nickel be the only rare coin out there? Absolutely not. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and there are always new coins being discovered with rare and valuable flaws. Whether it's a mistake made in the minting process or a coin that somehow slipped through the cracks, there are countless other coins out there that could one day be worth a fortune. It's just a matter of knowing what to look for and being in the right place at the right time, and that brings us back to the 2011 D nickel. While most of these coins will likely remain worth only a few cents, there's always the chance that one will stand out from the crowd. So, the next time you're holding a nickel in your hand, take a closer look. You never know when you might be holding on to the next big treasure. So, what do you think? Do you have a 2011 D nickel sitting around in your collection? Or maybe you've come across one in your pocket change recently. Keep an eye out. Who knows, you might just have $1 million coin on your hands. Coin collecting is a fascinating world, full of surprises and hidden treasures. You just have to know where to look and what to watch for. If you enjoyed this coin story, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel for more crazy coin stories, and ring the bell so you never miss out on all the exciting updates. And leave a comment below, what's the rarest coin you've ever found? Could it be worth millions too? Let us know. Until next time, keep searching, and keep collecting. You never know when you might find the next big treasure.